Hello, everyone. This is our cultural profile project on Australia. My name is Anthony Lopez, and I will be going over the marketing side for Australia. So for the US market, it's significantly larger and more diverse compared to Australia, offering a wider range of demographics, preferences, and purchasing power. The marketing campaigns often target specific segments such as like age, income, and lifestyle. Marketing Australia reflects on their laid-back lifestyle, their huge outdoor culture that they're very known for. And the campaigns make incorporate like Australian slang and stuff like that, resonating to their country. According to different studies, marketers and companies in Australia invest more funds and content compared to different Western counterparts, such as the content marketing, which is really big. It revealed that only 4% of Australian marketers avoid content marketing. So it's pretty much inevitable that most companies in Australia use this strategy to reach their followers and customers. The three that most that were deemed most effective were articles and blog posts, social media content, and email campaigns. As they are very also um, popular in the US, it's deemed that in Australia this is a lot more effective and like it's spot on to all their target audiences. But moving on to Apple in Australia a little bit, there's a little backstory. Um, Ever since having expanded to the Australian IT market, the company was able to secure the status of being country's second largest vendor of IT products and services. And as of the end of 2012, the amount of locally generated revenues on the part of Australia was estimated to be as large as 6 billion. Australia, as I mentioned before, is a really highly urbanized country, as they have 18 Apple retail stores down in Australia and definitely are expanding on that for sure, as of today, probably. And Australia as a whole, though, is just a very diverse country. They're known for like their breathtaking like landscapes, unique wildfire and vibrant culture, which kind of plays into factor of how they market to their audience versus like the US. I feel like their effective branding is a lot different, and it's very effective in how they basically speak to their audience. I feel like the country focuses promoting on tourism, and they invest opportunities into it, enhance their like authenticity, and basically just overall to be more genuine. You can definitely see the difference in criteria from Australia to the US, with how they market their company as a whole. But next up, we're going to talk about the finance and accounting department.
Hello, my name's Omar, and I'll be going over the finance and accounting departments and some of the differences that we might see in Australia. So Australia back in 2004 actually moved away from using GAAP for their finance and accounting reports. And they now follow rules set by the International Financial Reporting Standards. The difference between the two is that GAAP is more they have more specific rules and regulations that you have to follow when you're reporting your cash flows and your numbers. So there's really only leaves one room for one kind of interpretation of everything. Whereas with the IFRS method, they're more principle focused. So their interpretations are a lot more broad and open. So what's required a lot of times by companies is the disclosure of their financial statements to kind of aid in interpreting that information. The Australian tax year goes from the 1st of July to the 30th of June. Whereas here in the US, we go from the 1st of January to the 30th of December. But this can be pretty easily avoided just by applying for it because companies there are allowed to adopt the US tax year. New regulations that we're going to have to account for are the director ID number. And this is pretty much put in place to be able to identify and hold the board of directors a little bit more accountable when there's ever a situation where they misuse their power. A couple other ones are the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act and the Common Reporting Standards. So these are pretty much just in place to avoid any tax evasion in the US. So US taxpayers are required um, to kind of release their financial accounts and any sort of substantial ownership of a business, they have to report that to the US IRS.
In this slide, we'll be talking about the operations and development at Apple here in Australia. Apple operates in several retail stores across Australia where customers can purchase Apple products, receive technical support about their devices, attend Apple workshops and events. These stores are located in major cities and shopping centers to maximize visibility and accessibility to customers. Apple places a strong emphasis on delivering exceptional customer experiences. These offers include personalized assistance, from the knowledgeable staff at retail stores, providing customer support through various channels, and ensuring seamless integration between Apple devices and services. Apple engages in corporate social responsibilities, also known as CSRs, initiatives here in Australia. They focus on areas such as improving environmental sustainability, education, and community development. This includes commitments to renewable energy, recycling programs, and partnerships with educational institutions to support STEM education initiatives. In the next slide, we'll be talking about the human resources management.
Hi everyone, my name is April and I am part of the HR management team. As we expand Apple into Australia, collaboration is more than simply working together. It means a passionate and collaborative debate. People from retail, hardware, or marketing may focus on different issues, but respectful and honest discussion principles remain the same. We advocate ideas and various points of view that ultimately build on each other's thinking to come up with the best solution. Leaders at Apple combine their expertise with two other key characteristics: immersion in the details and willingness to collaboratively debate during collective decision making. We approach everything we do with an equal level of care and respect for our employees' personal experience. That is why Apple offers all kinds of ways to experience well-being, confidence, and satisfaction. We are committed to demonstrating that business can and should be a force for good. Achieving that takes innovation, collaboration, and a focus on serving others. Some of our employee benefits include healthcare support and counseling resources, opportunities to become an Apple shareholder, and paid time off through our leave and return to work program. Apple's training program exemplifies the company's commitment to continuous learning. We offer training for new recruiters focused on essential areas such as customer interaction, store features, and product knowledge. For those who are looking to develop both professionally and personally, we offer classes and seminars to provide tools that help employees understand Apple's culture, organization, and values. Now I will turn it over to our research and development team.
Hi everyone, my name is Adam and I'm here to discuss the quality control and research and development for our project. So to begin off, we're in Australia where Apple has to legally abide by consumer rights in order to protect the consumer. This discusses warranty and cost of coverage. Furthermore, Australia holds businesses to a particular level of etiquette and honesty and authenticity, as well as product quality and tracking through the environment and terrain of Australia. Market research, a lot of it is done on YouTube, and Apple focuses a lot of its market research on the major cities of Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney, as those are the regions where you see most Apple products being purchased. Then moving on to product development. A lot of the product development for IT companies technologically is done in New South Wales and Victoria. However, manufacturing is outsourced, mostly due to cost. However, there's a lot of strict regulations and restrictions upon manufacturing in the central and western regions of the country. Supplier contracting cannot exceed 38 hours, which is different than the 40-hour work week in the United States. Then moving on to customer feedback. They do still do a lot of surveys off of YouTube in Australia, and Apple also requires us, Australia also requires Apple to provide an unbiased platform for customer reviews. And then as far as customer engagement goes, Apple is pretty standard with their Genius Bar, so whatever you get in Australia, you'll get pretty much everywhere else. And that's wraps up for our research and development for our country profile. Thank you guys so much for listening.